welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
All things must eventually come to an end for the Gulls. Theirs ended last night when their 6-game winning streak lost. But at least we're getting a game in tonight as you take a look at what earlier moments ago Gulls Field was like. That was Medicine Hat's batting practice. And in the background, as you could see, there was just dark clouds to the east of us and to the north of us as well, as that's a great shot from our field camera behind, right by the score clock actually. And it's great to have you all tuning in from the comfort of your own homes. It's another Gulls broadcast right here on FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. You got Jim Claggett, I'm Kale Clark, and yes, as I mentioned, all good things must come to an end. Now it's for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. How do you bounce back after the Medicine Hat Mavericks hung on to a close affair 3-2 win they won last night against the Sylvan Lake Gulls team and improving their record to 18-10. Meanwhile, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are 16-12 on the year, 6-4 in their last 10, looking to get back in the win column. And this guy might have something to say and something to do with maybe getting on the right track.
I believe he's a little amped up tonight. He told us before, and he reiterated again today, that he's looking for a couple of starts, and then he's going to probably be done as a Sylvan Lake Gull. So he just keeps coming back, and he keeps coming back, and he's better every time he comes back. So he's got a few more pitches, I'm sure, and he's got plenty of incentive. He wants to show the fans here that he's still Ty Boudreau and could still do sort of what he does kind of thing. But I have to make mention of this last night. I mean, we've said this before, Cale. We talked about this iteration of the Gulls just cannot make mistakes against good teams. Last night was a perfect example. A 2-2 game, and the winning run comes in on a pass ball.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. So that was the third run in a 3-2 win. And the Gulls were even measure throughout the rest of the game, but one mistake cost them a game.
Exactly. And we know this team can bat. And you take a look at this offense that the Medicine Hat Mavericks have. I mean, they're going to send pretty much a similar amount, same guys that they had last night. The only change is Nate King coming in to catch tonight, and Aaron Volcano playing DH. But one guy to take in particular in that batting order that you saw is number 4. That's where things get crazy and interesting for this Medicine Hat Mavericks team, because Carter Roth is the league leading batter in batting average this season, and he is someone you always got to be cautious of when he steps up to the plate. He's hitting .446 on the summer already.
That's right. And then on the defensive side of things, and we saw examples of this last night, their third baseman, Tyler Veneste, with an outstanding play over at third. So the Gulls have their work cut out for them, and Ty Boudreau starts things off here with Jeremy Freeman, and he delivers a strike on the first pitch at 94. But I do have to make mention of the new shortstop for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, Tai Yukamoto, who turned an absolutely stunning double play with a guy bearing down on him. There's Ty right there, and he just hung in there the whole time, and I asked him about it. He says, I didn't see him. Sure you didn't.
All right.
Sure you didn't.
Well, they just,
he smiled.
Yeah, and it's great to see Ty Boudreau, as you mentioned. He's going to be on the mound. He's not going to be here for very long because, again, if you're just tuning in for the very first time and haven't found out, Ty Boudreau has recently committed to Alabama. And he gets a good catch right off the get-go. Wow. How about that? A little flash of the leather to get your start here in Sylvan Lake, and he's happy about it. Look at this. Let's take a look at this
Bang,
replay.
bang.
Jeremy Jr. just boom. Hello. Right here. Got it.
That was it. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Aaron Volcano. So an interesting start already to this game. you never know in the WCBL what's going to be delivered to your door.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that was turned on.
That
Very far foul, but that went high and far. That might have broke a windshield, to be honest with you. There's some vehicles parked over along that fence. Usually it's the umpires.
Oh, yeah, it usually is, isn't it? We didn't hear any car alarms go off, so Boudreau follows that pitch with an off-speed pitch, and he's up 0-2. If Ty Boudreau is on his game, the Medicine Hat Mavericks are going to have a difficult time manufacturing runs. And, well,
I think it's safe to say he might be just starting with being on his game.
well, it's early.
I know, but
it's a good foot to get off on.
two incredible
Right.
plays from Ty Boudreau himself, getting his own outs. And he looks to the sky there. You know why? Because it's starting to rain, Jim. And go figure. Ball time.
Game time, rain.
His first pitch.
There
and
we go.
then here comes the rain. The annoying rain, yep.
That's grounded down to Matt Brandt over at first. He knocks it down, steps on the bag, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And we are through that half inning right there, and Ty Boudreau looking sharp. The Gulls are coming to bat in the bottom of 1. There is the starter for tonight for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, Gary Dornan, right-hander.
Dornan getting his third start on the season. He's got 11 strikeouts. He's already got 2 wins under his belt. His ERA doesn't really show his representation of what he has done this season, but over 16 innings pitched so far for Dornan. This is who he's going to face. A pretty good changeup in this lineup from yesterday. Yeah, you still got Yakamoto, but they're going to put Yakamoto ahead of Connings for that leadoff position. Flores, who is staying hot with the bat, is going to be in that number 3. Brock Tiarina, here's just something different. Instead of playing DH, he's going to play in left field tonight, so he's going to play a position that's going to be defense. And Matty Fung's going to step in as the DH here in the number 8 batter spot in that lineup.
Yeah, they don't lose much with the DH with Matty Fung going in there.
And then, of course, you got a new catcher in Trip Ray, who they've been doing a really good job of rotating different catchers in and out.
And Yukimoto ducks away from that pitch from Dornan. 2-0 the count on the young man from Hawaii, the island of Oahu. And he watches that go by at 91.
Well, if I could say something with the batting, it looks like they're kind of getting bat heavy with who they're putting into this lineup today. I mean, you got Matty Fung, you got Simon Baker, you got Brock Tiarina, Jaden Flores, Noah Connings can hit a ball, so can Rowan O'Connor. You know,
Matt Brandt.
Matt Brandt, they really loaded up with bat heavy today.
Yeah.
And I know when we were talking to the guys on the field after last night's game, that was what they were all saying was, we got to be better offensively with the bats.
I think the count's 3-1. Is it? Or was that what 3? I was looking up. I went, okay, Ty's running down there. That's a little early.
Well, I did see that he did hesitate before he bat threw, and then still waited for the official call, and then he threw the bat. He almost did it too soon, and he didn't want to show up the umpire. We've seen that a few times, and he learned that from yesterday, I think. And
That's right.
that might be why Noah Connings has a pretty good smile on his face right now.
He always has a smile on his face,
Yeah.
I think. I throw over to first there to keep an eye on Tai Yukamoto. Levi Wagner is the home plate umpire. Has a little good discussion between Nate King and Gary Dornan. Jeff Chipley, the crew chief, over at first base and over at second right now, but down the left field line for most of the game will be Clayton Wandler. I asked Clayton, I ran into him in the hallway, I said, how's your arm after that? You took that foul ball right off the forearm. He says, that hurt. He says, but my knee was hurting more the rest of that night. I said, oh, I don't remember what off the knee. He said, well, it was sore. And that's ripped down to third, and Tyler Veneste starts the double play, and they do turn that double play. So, memo to the Gulls, don't hit down third baseline.
Yeah, or shortstop for that matter. They got a really good infield this year as Medicine Hat turns that double play like it was nothing. And that's a close play at first, but good call there by first base umpire, the crew chief, Jeff Chipley.
Jaden Flores will step in now to face Dornan. And it looks like the rain has dissipated.
It has, yeah. For now.
For now. There's
Still
more to come, I'm sure.
Pretty good dark cloud above us right now.
Jaden Flores has been wielding, I should say, a hot bat of late. And I just harken back and I remember the very first time we saw him play, and his first defensive play, he fired the ball,
Right
just
over the
airmailed
first
it over
baseman,
the first baseman's head.
And his bat was pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to call that a swing.
Oh, wow.
All right. And his bat was also pretty quiet to begin with, obviously, starting out. But then he went on the road, and that's where he got a little confidence with the bat when they went to Brooks, and he cleared the fence twice in Brooks against the Bombers. And I think that was what started the awakening of Jaden Flores.
He had a pretty good discussion there with home plate umpire Levi Wagner.
He was close on going around. I think if they checked with Jeff Chipley, he probably would have said he went around.
1-2 the count on the Gulls' third baseman tonight.
Let's take a look at the swing again. Yeah, that's close. That's close.
I think if they would have checked, but home plate umpire Levi Wagner made that call on his own.
Yeah, and that's kind of what surprised me, because I thought for sure they would have had to go down to Jeff Chipley to see, but Levi Wagner was pretty confident.
Count 2-2, bottom half of the first inning. Nobody on base, 2 down. Jaden Flores on the 2-2 pitch, and swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Dornan brings the inning to a close. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. A leadoff walk turns to nothing. We are through 1 with the Mavs coming to bat.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Ty Boudreau for his second inning of work here. A 3-up, 3-down inning to start things off. He'll now face the meat of the order, the 4, 5, 6 batters for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, starting off with, as you mentioned, the leading hitter on the Mavs for sure, Carter Roth, will start things off against Boudreau, followed by the Volcano brothers, Johnny and then Adam. Aaron was already had his at-bat. He struck out.
Yeah, this is going to be a good test for Ty Boudreau with the league leading batter at the plate and Carter Roth leading the league in the batting average category.
And that misses down low. 2-0 the count on Carter Roth. Top of the second inning. Watching the bad weather go by. Well, we hope it does. We'd like to get this game in. And that's fouled. Oh, good play by the coach down at third. Although he's thinking, I don't have a glove.
That might have stung a little bit, yeah.
So do we put an error on the third baseline?
Third base coach.
Third base coach? Yeah. Well, he kept it in front of him. So.
Yeah, he stopped it.
Yeah. And Boudreau misses, bouncing that one in front of the plate. The first inning, a line drive right back to the pitcher's mound. Ty Boudreau handled that, and then he struck out the next two guys, or struck out the next guy, Volcano, and then Tyler Venesti. Line went down to first base. And Boudreau gives up a walk here to start off the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Johnny Volcano.
Kind of a cool story about Johnny Volcano I learned yesterday is that the Volcano brothers were roommates with Cleary Simpson back at Colby Community.
Oh, really?
They were.
Okay.
Roommates. So I was talking to Cleary Simpson post-game yesterday and got some detail. And yeah, he said the Volcano brothers, great guys. He said, really good dudes. So
okay.
He roomed with, two of them and played with the oldest.
Which one's the oldest, do you know?
I want to say he's no longer, believe it or not, there's another Volcano brother.
Oh my God, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, I believe.
It's like baseball's version of the Sutters.
I believe that the fourth, because he said the name and it didn't sound like very familiar. I'll have to double check that with him next time I see him, but yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. Or maybe they
Pretty
don't.
cool, though.
I'm just throwing a question at you there. 2-1 the count on Johnny Volcano. Carter Roth is the base runner over at first. And a nice pitch there by Ty Boudreau. This is an opportunity for Tyler to kind of, I don't want to say work on his game, but he can, it's going to give him an idea of what he's going to bring to the University of Alabama, and I'm sure he wants to do that, as this is hit to Yakamoto, and he just kind of aimed that, and unfortunately, it went past second baseman Rowan O'Connor. So they're going to have a little discussion as to what went wrong there. I think he could see the base runner, Carter Roth, bearing down on the second base and maybe hurried that throw a little bit. So an error on the shortstop, Yakamoto. And nobody out and base runners on the corners. So the Gulls are digging themselves a little bit of a hole here early.
And again, it kind of goes to what you were talking about earlier in the pregame show, is that you just can't start games with giving up any opportunities like this for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. An error and walk.
You know,
the first inning was flawless.
Yeah.
Second inning, you start with a walk and then an error on a pretty routine double play by the look of it. I mean, it couldn't have really been much easier.
Well,
as
like I
far as
say,
close to second base, but
I think Yukimoto kind of hurried the throw
Yeah, he
because the base runner was closing in on second. He wants to give the second baseman
a lot of time.
a decent chance to
Yep.
get off the bag and make a good throw. But
100%.
But yeah, it's something that we see all the time. Guys make that play, and this time they didn't. And is it going to translate into a run? Possibly. 1-2 the count though on Adam Volcano.
So we just got in my ear that Calvin Bellows, the producer of the Gulls baseball, Green Onion Media, name of the fourth volcano, Liam Volcano, was the one that Clary Simpson played with as well. And then he roomed with Johnny, my apologies. And I want to say Adam was the other one.
Okay. Liam Volcano.
Liam Volcano,
Okay.
yeah.
I was thinking maybe it might be something cool like Pompeii or Vesuvius or, something like that.
Not quite.
Kilauea. Full count on the left fielder, Adam Volcano. Base runners at first and third with nobody out here in the top half of the second. And Trip Ray was all ready to fire that down to second as Johnny Volcano took off and stole that base. But a strikeout there for Ty Boudreau, his second of the night.
You know what? And it's honestly probably a good thing that Trip Ray bobbled that ball, because I think Medicine Hat wanted him to throw that ball with seeing Carter Roth over at third. So, and Trip Ray was going to. He just bobbled it. You could tell his eyes were planning on throwing it all the way, but
now here's a play I've
got lucky
seen
with that.
in the majors when they have that situation. And I've seen it, actually, we did it playing fastball too. We actually did this play where a catcher would fire it, but he'd fire it at the pitcher.
I was just going to say, pitcher cuts it off.
And then the pitcher has the choice now. He can either, if the guy's close to home, he throws to home. If the guy's halfway, then you get him in a rundown, and you give up the base, but you get the out. I think that's a nice trade, but, old school.
Yeah.
And that's just
And
me.
honestly, I think that would get a lot of guys, especially in this league. I don't think they'd see it coming.
Big swing there by first baseman Evan Morrison. He's down 1-2 in the count as Ty Boudreau is trying to take matters into his own hands here. Nate King, the catcher, is on deck with one down here in the top half of the second. And back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Boudreau, doing what Tyler Boudreau does. And so now he's got his team on the verge of escaping this inning without giving up a run after making, the leadoff walk and then the throwing error on Tai Yukimoto. So this is Nate King, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Boudreau missing down low with that one at 94.
I'm just kind of watching Ty Boudreau, and he's so locked in that he doesn't even worry about the base runners at this point.
No.
He's just, I'm just going to get the batter out, and these base runners are going to stay put.
That's grounded down to Matt Brandt. He scoops it up, and Ty Boudreau helps out his shortstop and himself by taking over that inning with a couple of strikeouts and then inducing a nice, easy ground ball to the first baseman. 1.5 done. No score between the Gulls and the Mavs. Sylvan Lake coming to bat.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game broadcasts, daily game day previews, Plus, 2 weekly shows including the WCBL Report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday, and also the WCBL Game of the Week pregame show leading right up to game time every Thursday night. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Inning number 2 of work for Gary Dornan. He had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the first. He'll face Brock Tiarina, Simon Baker, and Trip Ray. And first pitch swinging is Brock Tiarina, the left fielder tonight, normally the designated hitter, but he has brought his glove to work tonight.
I'd like to look at that replay. I really would.
Yeah, that
Hearthstone Property Manager replay would be really interesting by now. Look at this. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
And that's
That
kind
was
of a
pretty much
similar
I
pitch.
was just gonna
In
say.
fact, that might have
That
been
might have been
better.
the same pitch.
So anyway, we're ragging on the umpires, and we don't normally do that, and we know how tough a job they have.
It's a tough one.
1-2 the count on Tiarina, and he sends this right back off the mound, and it hits the rubber, and that's going to allow Brock Tiarina to get on first base. So you can't fault anybody on that one.
No.
Gary Dornan just kind of gave a half effort of putting his glove behind his back.
Why I was curious on what he did there, because I think if he actually turned around and properly got his glove on it, he might actually had a chance. But
we'll give that a base hit because you can't really give an error to the rubber.
He was going for style points, I think, on that one.
Yeah. Simon Baker now steps in, and he's been a little quiet lately, although the other day he had a home run and then he laid down an absolutely beautiful bunt.
Yeah, that was a few games ago now, but you know, he went for one yesterday, technically.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we talked yesterday with Jimmy Pelche, the departing Gulls infielder, and
this is his best buddy.
he thinks Simon Baker's got all the tools,
Yep.
and I think he's pretty right in that assessment. He's tall, he's fast, he's got a strong arm, and he can hit, and he can pitch too.
Yeah.
Other than that, he doesn't really bring much to the table,
Yeah.
does he? You
Yeah.
know?
I was gonna say, kind of what we talked about with Jimmy Pelche yesterday is what can't he do?
Yeah.
That list's a lot shorter than what can he do.
2-0 the count on Simon Baker. He fouls this out of play. Brock Tiarina, the base runner, over at first. Sending one right back up the middle. Hits the pitching rubber and popped up in the air, and that was it. Nobody could get to the ball in time to get Tiarina. Potential steal by Brock Tiarina. He's close enough that he gets back standing up, but that wasn't exactly the best move, I'm sure, that Gary Dornan has either over to first. Simon Baker and then Trip Ray is on deck. Baker looks like he was going to bunt, and that outside corner seems to be in play for home plate umpire Levi Wagner.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty wide corner to catch.
The count even at 2-2 now. And this is up high and count now full. No score here in the bottom half of the second inning. Gulls and Mavericks. That misses inside, and a walk drawn by Simon Baker puts base runners on first and second, with the catcher Trip Ray getting the signals from the bench. What do you want me to do, coach? And he gives the signs, and let's see what happens here. Yeah, they're asking him to bunt to move everybody over. So the signals came in from the bench once again as Trip Ray is being asked to bunt maybe again. Nope, the bunt is taken off. And Wood going through all the signs once again.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of signs there. One of them means something. We'll see what Trip Ray's going to do. If the count gets to 3-0, I don't think they'll have a bunt. No, they were having him swing away there. And he did. Took a mighty cut at that one. The big man from Memphis, Tennessee. Southwest Tennessee College. And now they've got him squaring to bunt. And he lays it right back to the pitcher's mound. And Tyler Beneste just threw that one into, well, they're going to hold up Simon Baker because it hit the fence, and good cover there by the second baseman, Carter Roth. As he got to that ball quickly. And watch this here, right back to the mound. Just he got that, just didn't get it deadened. And Evan Morrison couldn't make the grab, and then the brakes are applied by Simon Baker as he came around third.
Yeah, a smart choice too, because that was a hard throw from that right field. So base runners in scoring position now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 2 runners. The chance to open things up here. Matt Brandt, good buddies with Aiden Macaris. So we know those guys can hit a ball. Quick little meeting on the mound from the catcher to the pitcher. Now, I was told that in this league, you're only allowed 2 meetings before a pitching change, but sometimes you see that more, don't you?
Is it 2 meetings per inning?
Could be
2
that.
meetings. I think it's
Could be
it
that.
would have to be 2 meetings per inning.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Because that would be meeting number 2 technically already on the night.
And so nobody's warming up in the bullpen, so.
Yeah. Must be an inning thing, yeah.
And that's grounded down to short, and they're going to get the lead runner there. But that'll score a run as that shot by Matt Brandt drives in a run for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They score first here. And they get the lead off, or the lead runner there on that one. And Matt Brandt on a fielder's choice over at first. Now Matty Fung will step in to face Gary Dornan. And first pitch swinging, as is usually the case with number 4.
Yeah, he took a pretty good cut at that, didn't he? Wow.
He did.
Came all the way around on it.
We've got wind's coming in from the outfield, though. It's going to have to be a really well-hit ball. And he drives this right down to the first baseman, Evan Morrison. And he makes the play, but the Gulls cracked the goose egg here early in the second inning now. They are up 1-0 after 2 complete. Medicine Hat will come to bat. Another inning of work for number 40, Ty Boudreau. So far, so good for the Sylvan Lake product. I love that he's just made that change, and the whole family, that's just great. They've adopted this town, and the town has embraced them. First pitch into Micah Dvorak is in for a ball. It'll be Micah Dvorak, and then the top of the order, Jeremy Freeman and Aaron Volcano. And this is over to the third baseman, Jaden Flores, who makes the grab and records the out.
Well, so far so good for Ty Boudreau on the mound, as he'll face the same batter twice now in this game, as Jeremy Freeman Jr. was the leadoff hitter back in the first. Led things off in this game. Hit it right back to Ty Boudreau. Almost took his head off, but he got his glove on it and got the catch.
I was just checking to see where Jeremy Freeman is from.
Chicago.
And because he was having a nice little discussion with Tripp Ray as he came to the bat, and I thought, well, maybe they know each other from playing together or something, but no, he's an Ottawa kid. And Tripp Ray is from Memphis. Oh, good grab in the on-deck circle there by Aaron Volcano, playing it off the mesh. Just casual. Stick your arm out, grab it, no problem. 0-2 the count on Freeman. And strikeout number 4 on the evening for Ty Boudreau. And watch this one, just boom, just pop in the glove. Just overwhelmed him at 92 or 93, I think. Aaron Volcano, the designated hitter, he was the first strikeout victim of Ty Boudreau.
So I got my story straight now. Thanks again to the help with
Calvin
Bellows. Here's the age of the Volcano brothers. Liam's the oldest at 25. Johnny's 24. You got Aaron at 22. And then Adam's the baby at 20. That's the ages of the Volcano brothers.
I wonder if they have any other siblings.
Yeah.
Like maybe sisters?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's quite a few already.
Well, 4, yeah. And that's bounced in front of the plate. Tripp Ray jumps out in front of that, and like a cat, he is on that ball and fires a strike over to Matt Brandt to record the out and bring the inning to a close. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. 2.5 done. Gulls coming to bat.
Welcome back to Gulls Baseball. You're watching on FloCollege, brought to you by VisitSylvanLake.ca. Jim Colleggett, Cale Clark here with you on your Wednesday night, watching some WCBL action, July 2nd, 2025. And this game's 1-0. Sylvan Lake leads over Medicine Hat. Now at the plate, Rowan O'Connor, probably one of the guys that got the least amount of sleep last night. Why? He was pretty fired up after last night's game. I had a good chance to chat with him down at the field, and he had to come up to me. He's like, "Was that inside? Was that inside?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was a little inside." He just couldn't let it go the way the last night's game ended. I don't blame him. It was a tough way to go, looking on that last pitch, but this one he grounds right to shortstop Johnny Volcano, and he'll make the throw over to first. The second oldest Volcano to Evan Morrison for the first out.
Yeah, that was caught looking at what he thought was going to be a ball, and
well, he says the first one, okay, that one was, for sure a ball, and it was. And then he said the second one, he said, it looked like it was about the same, and it was, or no, the first one was a strike, and he said, okay. And then the second one was even more outside, and that somehow was a strike. Yeah, he just couldn't believe it. He had to ask what we saw up at the media booth, and I said, well, the replay showed a little bit inside.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, umpires call it in real time. We get the opportunity to watch Hearthstone Property Management replay just like that, and that goes right off the tip of the glove of catcher Nate King, and he had to shake that one off, Jim. That actually might have went off the arm, actually.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, he's feeling the effects of that one.
Catchers get beat up, and this is why they call that the tools of ignorance. Not that the catchers are ignorant, but you know what I mean. 0-1 the count on Tai Yukamoto. He took a walk and then was the front half of the double play turned by the Mavericks to get themselves out of that inning. 0-2 the count on the Gulls shortstop. Game number 2 for him in a Gulls jersey. And he sends this into shallow left field, and that's going to drop. And a slip there by the left fielder out of Volcano, but Tai Yukamoto playing it safe and hanging around halfway between first and second. So some good base running by Tai Yukamoto to not take the Gulls out of an inning that they might generate a run here. That'll bring up Noah Connings.
Well, that'll get momentum going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in the right direction. That's what they wanted to do last night, get the bats going. And here tonight, so far, bats are doing pretty good. Noah Connings, assistant to deep right field. That's got a chance, Jim, all the way back. See you later. A 2-run shot, deep right field. Noah Connings gives the Gulls a 3-run lead.
I love that celebration after the home run that the guys do.
An opposite field homer.
That just carried.
Wow.
So it just kept going and going, going. And then the little helmet, but this is the part I like. Keep it running. Oh, I thought we could get that. So close.
So close.
Jaden Flores now steps in to face Gary Dornan. And after the crowd settles down from that 2-run homer from Noah Connings. Well, this is the different Gulls team. I mean, I don't think they're approaching the game any different, but their hits are finding spots. Last night they didn't. They left 7 guys on base in a 3-2 game. And as I said earlier, run number 3 came in on a pass ball. So, or a wild pitch. Like I say, depends on, I can't remember how they scored that one, but.
I think it was a wild pitch, I believe is how they scored it.
Okay. I could go back and look at my, oh, maybe I have it right here.
There you go.
No, I don't.
No.
That's a different game.
It's like just kidding.
Fooled you.
Gotcha.
And Flores takes the walk to get the inning going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who have a 3-0 lead over the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And a little meeting on the mound. This time it will involve the coach. Nobody in the bullpen, but somebody is going to the bullpen right now.
Yep. I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for this pitcher and Gary Dornan. And, you know, it's a lot better of a start for the Sylvan Lake Gulls here tonight. I mean, they're obviously credit to the defense that they're getting to start things off, and that's thanks to Ty Boudreau. And then, you know, that momentum kind of just carries over to the offense, and now the offense's bats are doing what they need to do. As last night they were just shut down. I mean, they started out hot in the first 2 innings, got a couple runs, and then after that it was kind of just shutdown mode for Medicine Hat, and then Sylvan Lake couldn't do anything after that. So
Brock Tiarena comes in now, and Jaden Flores with a really good jump and a stolen base. He has deceptive speed.
he does.
That young man. And he timed his slide just perfectly with a little bit of rain there.
He really dove. Oh my goodness. He
And
got some air time on that one. That might
Yeah.
have even hurt coming down. It hurt me coming down watching that. He almost took too big of a leap there.
Ouch. And that misses up high on Tiarena. The count 2-0.
Brock Tiarena already 1 for 1 on the evening. Had that base hit before getting thrown out at first, or at third, sorry.
2-1 the count now. Sorry, I'm having a conversation in my head.
I can see that. Cracking yourself up over that.
Calvin's
I
in
know
my
there's
head.
the earpiece in your head. You can
Yeah.
hear somebody else talking to you. But it is funny when you don't know what's going on next to you, and you just see you cracking up out of nowhere. Well, this is a well-hit ball. Right field.
Oh, that's
caught.
That caused a little bit of angst there for Micah Dvorak as he kind of changed speeds a couple of times tracking that ball down, but that's the second out of the inning. But that moves, and here's the replay, and he just kind of stops, and then it's okay.
And that was
now I got it.
just in foul or fair territory. If that dropped, that would have been a fair ball, and that would have easily scored Flores.
So Simon Baker steps in. He walked in the second inning, and then came around and scored the first run of the game on an errant throw by Tyler Vanesti, which you don't see too often because he's got a strong arm and it's pretty accurate most of the time. And quickly, Gary Dornan is up 0-2 on Simon Baker. Jaden Flores, the base runner, over at third. J-Flo, as the boys call him.
Yeah.
So I'm in the dressing room, and Cam Diaz had his phone going, and he was playing music for the boys, and he put on a song that was very colorful. let's put it that way. The language very colorful, and I'm standing there, and I look at these guys. I say, I don't think I have this song on my playlist. Can you tell me who that is? They laughed.
Do you know who it was?
I have no idea.
I guarantee you I would have known what song it was.
You think?
Probably.
Okay, well.
I'm a little closer to these guys this age, I guess.
Yeah, they oh, look, old guy doesn't know the song. Ha ha. Yep. I don't. But as Kai Rempel would say, you know, you have a deep bag. My bag's not that deep on that kind of music. So foul ball there from Simon Baker. He stays alive. The count 0-2 with 2 down. Here in the bottom half of the third inning, the Gulls with a 3-0 lead over the visiting Medicine Hat Mavericks. missing outside. 1-2 now. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit. The 1-2 pitch. And Baker lifts this out into right field. Micah Dvorak makes a move on it, gets his glove on it, and brings the inning to a close, but not before the Gulls put 2 more on the board.
And it was thanks to this big shot, opposite field homer from Noah Connings. We'll be back with the rest of this top of the 4th when we come back.
Ty Boudreau still on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and why not? No runs to this point, and he faces the third baseman, Tyler Venesti, who lined out to the first baseman, Matt Brandt, in the first inning. And he sends this down the left field line, foul. And Boudreau has been working ahead of the batters in pretty much every at-bat that he's had tonight. I haven't kept track, but for the most part, every time I look up, it's 0-1, 0-2. Now it's 1-2. Carter Roth is the batter on deck. And that's up high. The count now 2-2.
Notice how Tyler Boudreau's got a different glove on here today?
Yeah, no red.
No red.
No, that's the old school, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
At least not mine right now. Lots of things have rolled off this tongue over the years, but that wasn't one of them right there. So Sully's gathering a crowd over there. Over there. I can see it.
Yeah.
This is out to left field. Brock Tiarina slides over to his right and catches it in foul territory and retires the third baseman, Tyler Veneste.
That's got to feel good for Brock Tiarina getting his first little bit of action in the defense side of things, because as we know, he's been playing a lot of DH lately for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and he's got a smile on his face as he, hey guys, I made a play. I got a note.
I used my glove.
Yeah. I could do more than just swing a bat.
Carter Roth steps in, and this is how you want to face this guy with nobody on base.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a dangerous bat.
Last time he got walked in the second, he was a leadoff hitter for that second inning, and he grounds this right to Ty Boudreau, and Boudreau and him play a little dance back and forth, and Boudreau will get the last laugh after he tags him.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Instead of making the throw to first, why not just do it yourself?
Whoop, what? Oh, okay. So he takes it himself for the second out. That brings out the shortstop, Johnny Volcano. Boudreau.
I just saw an umbrella go over the fence, but in the provincial vodka patio. The wind picked up and it took it right up over, and it might be in that farmer's field now, Jim.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah. See you later.
1-2 the count on Johnny Volcano. And that misses outside. Evens the count. 2 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. Sylvan Lake with a run in the second and 2 in the third, courtesy of a 2-run homer by Noah Connings. And this is lifted out into foul territory. Matt Brandt's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab as he makes it look easy over there in foul territory. Matt Brandt gets the final out in foul territory. And that brings the inning to a close. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. 3.5 done. Gulls with a 3-0. Gary Dornan still in the game for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. He's got Trip Ray, Matt Brandt, and Matty Fung here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and Trip Ray sends this towards the Mavs bullpen. It landed safely outside of it. I think we're going to see this kind of weather. Just all of a sudden a system will move in, drop a bit of rain for a minute, and then gone again. And he shoots this right through the gap between first and second. A good piece of hitting there by Trip Ray starts the bottom of the 4th inning off in a good way for the Gulls with a base runner.
Yeah, big time. That finds the gap and just doesn't have to go very far, but does the job, so Trip Ray gets safely to first, not with 0 away, and a 3-0 lead for Matt Brandt, who has already driven in a run thanks to got on base to a fielder's choice.
And he made a nice play over in foul territory.
And he made a very nice play at the last inning. You know, and you could tell that this wind, Jim, I've been noticing all night long, has changed directions 4 or 5 different times now, from east to west, west to east.
Oh, and this
how
is
about that?
Ripped into the gap there in right center, and Trip Ray thought about coming to third. Yeah. Wyatt McKnight, I'm not sure if Wyatt put the stop sign up or Trip Ray decided, you know what, I'm not feeling it. I'm not going into trying to get to third there. So base runners on first and second now, back-to-back signals. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Matty Fung.
And you just saw on your screen some good facial expression there from our first base coach in number 23,
Cam Diaz.
Cam Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
He's a character, and he showed it there.
I was talking to Cam in the dressing room. I said, this is just a pipe dream, but we've been discussing getting a mic where we can mic up a player, and we thought you would be a good one to be over at first base. And he goes, I'm so on for that. I am so down for that. Yes, do it. And I said, well, you know.
I like that Medicine Hat Mavericks have a couple players in the stands doing some radar gun work and writing down some notes.
On their pitcher, Gary Dorner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I think you want to cross that one off the list. That just came right out of his hand before he had any time to release it, really. He did. I don't think he wanted to release it right then and there.
Shouldn't have had that popcorn.
Yeah, a little greasy. Well, everybody moves up. Matt Brandt over to second, Trip Ray in third. So runners in scoring position for Matty Fung with a 1-1 count. And Gary Dornan's just got this look like, what was that? As Bob Euchre would have said, just a little bit outside.
Yeah. Well, it looked like he just, it wasn't, it came out of the hand funny, but you could tell he was off balance through that throw. He
fell off the
right
mound.
over, yeah.
He fell off the mound awkward. Three and 1 to count on Matty Fung. Rowan O'Connor is the hitter on deck for the Gulls. Nobody out, runners on second and third. Gulls with a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Matty draws the walk to load the bases for Rowan O'Connor. And that'll bring out the coach, and I believe that will bring out the right hand for the baseball from Gary Dornan. Yeah, there it is right there. The exchange is made, and the young man had a tough night.
Well, we got word that number 3 was warming up in the bullpen for Medicine Hat, and that could be who's coming in right now, as that would be a returnee player of the Medicine Hat Mavericks, Garrick Levesque. So as he comes in, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the remaining bottom half of this fourth inning next. So I'm going to start off by saying I stand corrected on this guy. I thought he's a returnee. He's not a returnee. I don't know. I must have saw it in my dreams one time and thought I saw that name before. But no, Garrick Levesque will be on the mound for Medicine Hat, coming in relief for Gary Dornan after pitching 3 complete innings and a little bit.
Yep.
So that'll be Rowan O'Connor at the plate now. Bases loaded, 0 away. 3-0 lead, Gulls have it, and looking for more.
So this is Jimmy Peltier's favorite type of pitcher, a left-hander that probably comes inside on a right-handed batter. And he stays outside with an off-speed pitch at 71 for a ball. Bases loaded, nobody out. Rowan O'Connor is the batter for the Gulls. And he sends this into right field, backing up Micah Dvorak. That's going to score a run. As Trip Ray tags and scores easily from third base. Matt Brandt moves up, and Matty Fung stays over at third, but an RBI sacrifice fly for Rowan O'Connor. And we, top of the order, as there you see Matt Brandt, or Trip Ray scoring easily from third base. Tai Yukamoto steps in now. He sent a curving single out to left field in the third inning and came around and scored on Noah Conning's home run to right field. And Yukamoto sends this out to center field. This could drive in another run as Freeman has it, gets the ball in, but Matt Brandt tags and scores. And just like that, the Gulls have added 2 more runs to their total and now have a 5-0 lead over Medicine Hat.
Yeah, the benefits of getting on base and getting the bases loaded with 0 outs, it opens a big door for you to at least score 1 or 2 more before the end of the inning. And still with a base runner over at first, 2 outs now, and this is Noah Connings who had that 2-run shot over the right field wall. And when I was talking about the wind was at his back on that opposite field hit. Now it's going from right to left. So if he turns on this ball, be helpful to maybe get a home run that way too.
Well, here's the thing too, from last night. The Gulls had bases loaded, didn't get a run in. Tonight they've had bases loaded and got 2 of those runs in.
But the difference is that they got bases loaded with 0 outs, whereas their bases loaded situation was already an out or a couple outs anyways. So yeah, it's tough to cash it in a little bit more when you're down to your last out rather than you got 3 outs to play with.
1-2 the count. Noah Connings, and he keeps the at bat alive by fouling that off. Brampton, Ontario is home for the young man from Cloud County Community College. And Matty Fung is taking off and gets himself a stolen base. So puts himself in scoring position now for Noah Connings.
That's the Matty Fung we know, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah.
But you can tell he's running a little bit differently, isn't he? That just looked to me like I think he's
cautious.
Been playing a lot of baseball. It might be catching up to him a little bit. Yeah, it looked like it was a little bit different for him for the way he normally runs. And we know he's had some lower body injuries in the past and everything like that. But yeah, it didn't look like the speedy Matty Fung that we've seen last year.
Full count on Noah Connings. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And that hits Noah Connings. And I'm sure that would be, or that went outside. That's what it was. I was going to say, Matty Fung, I don't think could go over to third base if that was hit by pitch.
Yeah, right behind Connings.
Jaden Flores will step in. A strikeout and a walk and a stolen base for his evening to this point. And a throw over to first. with Connings and Matty Fung on the corners. Gulls looking to add to that 5-0 lead. 5 runs on 5 hits and 1 error right now. The board for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. That misses outside for a ball.
I gotta say, I gotta give credit to Nate King. He's doing a good job behind the plate, trying to frame what he can. But, you know, you go from Nate Frey tonight to Jaden Babick from last night. Jaden Babick, there's just something about Babick last night, though. He was just so good with framing the pitch over the plate that I think got a lot of favorable calls his way.
I think you might be right.
And you know, and I'm not saying Nate King isn't doing the same, but it's definitely noticeable when Nate King, you know, he just doesn't maybe have it as much as Babick did.
No, not the same flourish.
Not the same exactly, yeah.
And these guys practice this stuff too.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is kind of where they practice it, I guess, is in the summer league.
Oh, this could drop in the fair territory. It does, right in the corner. As Jaden Flores is going to stretch this into a triple if he can, and he does. Although I think his hand came off the bag, but he did drive in Noah Connings for the 6th run of the game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and a strong throw by Micah Dvorak, and hits the relay man, and then anyway, a run scored and some excitement over at third. Gulls with a 7-0 lead here over the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Committed to the University of Alabama, Ty Boudreau, as we see there. Used to be a Texas Tech University pitcher. Now he's got a chance of being a major leaguer. He's got 14 teams looking at him right now in the major leagues, and he is just looking to continue to chase that dream that he's been longing for so long.
And he can still use the red glove. I mean, he's dropped the red glove tonight, but he can still use the red glove because those are Alabama's colors, red and white.
Just the logo might need to be stitched out.
Well, I think, he had the Canada logo right there middle of the screen,
Yeah.
so he can keep that too, I'm pretty sure. And that's fouled back. Adam Volcano starts things off here against Ty Boudreau in the top half of the 5th inning. Gulls with 7 runs on the board tonight. 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. And Ty Boudreau still dealing. Even count here against Adam Volcano, Evan Morrison, and then Nate King.
Yeah, just a great response to last night's game. Come into this one, and he really shut the door on Medicine Hat, not really giving him any life so far in this one. As Ty Boudreau, as you mentioned, dealing 5 Ks on the evening.
Yeah, he seems to be in a groove, doesn't he?
You know what we've missed
What have we
all
missed?
season long that
K-Man.
we've yet to see? Yes.
I was just thinking that.
I
Honestly, I was
read
just
your mind.
thinking. Well, it's a short read.
It's a short read.
I was just, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm counting the strikeouts and I'm going, yeah, usually I just have to look over and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but now I have to actually work hard at it.
Yeah, Mr. Fawcett, I guess, is taking a break.
I guess he is. Maybe, life gets in the way. You can't be the K-Man all the time.
That's fair.
Somebody ought to take that up, though. He'd get a sponsor. Kmart. No, we don't have Kmarts anymore, do we? Not up here, we don't.
No. Kubota.
Kubota?
There you go.
No.
Now we're just giving free name mentions out there.
Anything with a K,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Krispy Kreme donuts?
Yeah.
No. No offense to Krispy Kreme, but I had one down south because I had to give it a try.
No.
No. Oh, yeah. Calvin Bellows, yes. Co-op, bakery, one in Timberlands. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's good there.
Well, I got one for you, Calvin says. Nothing beats it as Ty Boudreau fires a strike over to first for the second out. But I'll tell you what does beat it as we watch the replay. He comes off the mound nice and easy in the glove, watches it into his glove, and then fires a strike over to first. If you are ever headed out Highway 12 and heading east, make a stop and go early. Make a stop at Bloke's Bakery in Stettler. And you will be blown away by any of the product that they serve out there. It is fresh. The bakery is right there. And then Calvin just said he had it on the weekend. It is fantastic. Bloke's Bakery.
Bloke's Bakery. Well,
Yep.
it's funny. I'm from 20 minutes east of there, and I've yet to be there. So there you go.
Yeah, they are amazing. I've heard. I've never had one. That's right. You're from that area, are you not, Calvin? Yeah, I think Calvin is from the Stettler area.
That's why he's
so
a good guy. That makes sense now.
That's
There's
it.
good people out that way.
Absolutely there is. 1-2 the count on Nate King with 2 down here in the 5th. And that will be the first base hit of the game for the Medicine Hat Mavericks as Brock Tiarina takes a tumble out in left field.
Yeah, he kind of caught his footing out in left center field, and then kind of a little bit of it went over backwards there as you take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay, and he stumbles, spins, goes to fire, and then whoop, look out. You know what? I think it's because it's slippery out there. That rain is starting to make things a little interesting in the outfield. So
that's the first hit given up. I had been very conscious of not saying, and the Mavericks don't have a hit right now.
Yeah.
They just don't have a run right now.
Oh, you said that.
I kept
With a guy in scoring position.
But they do have one now. A guy in scoring position. A hit and a guy in scoring. Micah Dvorak, as I move on from that mess. So with the no-no gone, it probably changes a little bit of the focus of Ty Boudreau. Not by much, though.
Nope.
Because he will remain focused probably through this inning. I think he might get one more inning because there is some action in the bullpen, but they're not heating up right now. That's grounded down to second. Rowan O'Connor flips it over to first, and the inning comes to a close. No runs on just the one hit. We are through 4.5. The Gulls with a 7-0 lead over Medicine Hat.
Welcome back to Gulls Baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. 7-0 Sylvan Lake Gulls have a lead over the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Jim Claggett and Cale Clark here with you in the broadcast booth in the nest, the Gulls nest. As that first pitch is a ball, back on the mound for Medicine Hat is number 3, Garrick Levesque.
It's pretty clean for a nest.
It is a clean nest.
You know?
Yeah.
Sully does a good job keeping it clean. Although he's probably not in it very much.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so clean if he was.
Yeah. I don't even know if he has a mate. I don't know. He's too busy eating French fries on the beach.
Yeah, getting some tipsy birds in him.
Tipsy birds.
The Gulls' signature drink.
Yeah.
Ever since day one, that was one of their first cocktails they came out with. I'll never forget it. Year one.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No, I
they
do
were
remember
blue and and it just stuck. It just stuck. I mean,
that's a mashup of words, took and stuck.
yeah, that's what I meant. You know, you pick up what I was trying to say there.
I
I mixed
do.
2 words together in one.
It's a mashup.
Yeah,
There
no,
we go.
I didn't know what I was going to say there. Apparently.
Brock Tiarina draws a walk there to lead things off here in the 5th inning. And as you mentioned, Ty Boudreau had the handshake as he got to the got to the bench, and so his night is done. No runs, 1 hit. So
Good
I think
5
he had
innings.
about 70 pitches. I believe he was at about 69, 70
Around
pitches
there,
in that area. So we've got Mason Little is warming up in the bullpen right now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So he's likely to come in to start the 6th inning.
That's another guy that's got a game face on him.
Yeah, he does.
He's
Doesn't he, though?
He looks very intimidating when you're walking around the concourse.
He's an intense young man.
I was walking
when
into
he's
the building.
pitching.
Yeah, I was walking in the building today, and I saw him come down the stairs, and he came out the door, and that game face was on.
That's inside on Simon Baker. Brock Tiarina, the base runner, over at first. No worse for wear for his little tumble out in left center field. 70 pitches.
You called it, Jim. 70 pitches. Wow.
Well, sometimes I pay attention.
There you go.
My wife doesn't believe that, but
Yeah, she might have other things to say.
oh, she does.
Oh, Janice. What a sweetheart, though, I got to tell you.
She is. She put up with me for
She
43
I
years.
mean, good for her, yeah.
Yeah. 40, well, more than 43. Because we dated for about a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about a year.
Only 1 year, and then you got married?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Impressive.
I was a
Didn't
judge.
You pulled the trigger pretty quick.
Well, you know what? If you catch a winner out of the lake, you
That's
don't throw
true.
it back in.
No, yeah, you don't. Yeah,
You know?
that's fair.
As an old fisherman once told me.
That's quite the
The
analogy.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
appreciate it.
There's nothing fishy about that story.
Oh,
Out into left field, Adam Volcano gets a glove on it, and that is 1 down. Now, I was working at a radio station in Dauphin, Manitoba, and they needed judges for a Halloween contest. It was about an hour and a half east of us. And so myself and another announcer, we said, yeah, we'll go out there. So we went out there, and that's where I met her. That was the very first time I'd ever seen her, and from there it was history, as they say.
Just a stud, just an absolute stud, they say.
No. No, they didn't say that.
Oh, they didn't say that about you?
No.
No. Well, I was trying to pump your tires. You could have
Well,
just went
thank
with
you. Well, no. Irish Catholic. I got to watch what I say.
it. Oh, I see.
Don't want to offend the big guy. I think I've already done that. It's been a rocky relationship.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, trying to now later on in the years, just trying to do a lot of forgiving for asking for a lot of forgiveness.
Well, I did call in a favor once already.
There
this
you go. Well,
couple
you
of
did.
A few years ago.
Yes,
so.
you did. Yeah, that was a scary time.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Glad your health has
Yes.
been good since.
It has been.
That's good.
Yeah, the heart is still ticking. So
That's good.
2-1 the count on Trip Ray. So much for the life and times of Jim Claggett. Story 2.
Wow. I gotta say,
to do that to you,
oh,
folks.
I'm just saying, Gulls baseball would not be the same. I wouldn't want. It scared me because I'm like, I need him there. I can't do it. Can't do it alone without my guy Jim Claggett with me in the broadcast booth. It just wouldn't be the same. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Of course.
Right back at you. There we go. Full count on Trip Ray. I heard a song earlier. It was Walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
This probably should have been his walk-up
Should be,
song,
yeah.
I think. But what do I know? I'm just
Definitely
throwing that out there.
Definitely not all summer long, by Kid Rock.
Oh, what a classic that is.
I mean, it's a banger, as the kids would say.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
Okay.
For you, it's maybe bang my head off the wall kind of banger, but I get it. Oh, there it is. Well, this is Johnny Cash here. Yeah.
As night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind.
Number 8.
That's a classic. I love it.
Now, there's a story behind that song in my own world, but I can't relate it here on the air. So
Okay.
I'll have to tell you later. This is a little blooper down the right field line, but that's going to go foul. As Matt Brandt sends this into foul territory. 0-1 to count. One down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Gulls with base runners on first and second. Matt Brandt at the plate.
Now you got my imagination just running right now.
Oh, well, I'll tell you off the air.
What it's going to be.
As Brandt hits this over to second, they'll take the lead runner and try and double up, and no. And kind of a mental error by the shortstop, Johnny Volcano. I don't know that he had a chance to get Matt Brandt over at first, but he made the throw anyway, and probably should have held on to this, but he tried to rush that throw, and it ends up costing them in the form of a run as Brock Tiarina scores. So Matt Brandt gets himself an RBI, I guess. Oh, no, I think that's
I don't
an error.
think he would be. No,
That's an
that'd
error.
be an
That's
error,
right,
yeah.
yes. I caught myself almost in time.
No, you did catch yourself.
I guess I did.
Yeah. But yeah, Gulls will take it. I mean, this is already more errors that Medicine Hat has had since yesterday. They didn't even have. I don't believe they even had 2 errors. I think they had 1, maybe, if 1.
Yeah, if one.
Let me just double check here. In fact, they had 0 errors last night.
There you go.
So, yeah, the Gulls are taking advantage, of course. And that means more warm-up going on in the bullpen for Medicine Hat. That's number 39.
It is.
Who we don't have on our sheet. So there's that. I'll get it for you quickly. I actually got a picture of the lineup card here. Ryan Harney. Okay, yep. Ryan Harney is number 39 warming up right now.
Oh, wow. Everything.
That is hit well into right center field, but it's gotten a lot of hang time, so settling under it will be Jeremy Freeman Jr., and that will end the inning. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls add 1 more run in the 5th, and they have an 8-0 lead heading to the top of 6 when we come back. You're watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege.
There is Mason Little taking over from Ty Boudreau, who had a solid 5 innings of work, giving up 1 hit in the 5th inning and striking out 5 Medicine Hat Mavericks. Mason Little now inherits here's Ty Boudreau and showing what he does best.
Yeah, he's got 5 Ks on the night with some incredible defensive work that he had to do himself. But Ty Boudreau shut the door on Medicine Hat, who kind of took it to the Gulls to start the game, and I think that was the big key to tonight's game is let's get a good start defensively, and then maybe our offense can come alive a little bit and get us some runs. And that's exactly what happened that the Gulls have, and they have now a nice 8-0 cushion heading into 6. But things were let off right away from Jeremy Freeman Jr. with a base hit out to left field. So new pitcher has been seen already and greeted with a base hit into this game.
And we have the Memphis Tennessee connection here. Mason Little throwing to Trip Ray, both from Memphis.
Yep.
Now Mason had it was the first time we saw him, he didn't wait long. When you get the ball, he got the signal and then he'd throw. Now he's slowed things down quite a bit. 2-0 the count on Aaron Volcano with the base runner over at first in Jeremy Freeman. And Little throws over. Freeman gets back easily. 5 innings in the book, 8-0 Gulls lead. And a nice pitch on the outside corner. Put the count at 2-1. And Little, same pitch, same spot, same result.
That's a great pitch. 2-2 now. That one hit 90 on the gun.
Yeah, I think he and Trip Ray are teammates because
they are.
Southwest Tennessee Community College again. I think both of them, that's where they both play. So there's some familiarity right there between Mason Little and Trip Ray. And some familiarity with that kind of pitch as a strikeout. He picks up right where Ty Boudreau left off. And I'm not sure now. We noticed that, here's the replay on that pitch, swing and a miss there. That Ty Boudreau packed up his bag and everything and left the bench. Now, we don't know why. That maybe that was his last appearance as a Sylvan Lake Gull. I thought he had told me that he might have 2 starts this week, just to kind of show, hey, I still got this, and Alabama, you didn't make a mistake kind of thing. So, but maybe Alabama said, no, we need you down here, and maybe there's something that they want him to attend. So,
and here's a good showing of him leaving the game as he has his bag packed up, his glove, and he says, all right, well, my night is done. My night's work is over. May as well go home, I guess. I'm not sure what that would be about. Maybe Alabama's watching the broadcast and they like what they saw and like, all right, you need to get here now.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
we could use you.
Yeah, that was a great night of work by Ty Boudreau.
Good job getting him leaving there, guys. And a base hit out into right field. So the Mavericks starting to mount something here as Tyler Vaneste drives one through the gap between first and second. And that gap is usually there when there's a base runner over at first because Matt Brandt had to hold him on at the bag. So that creates a big hole there.
And that does not make things any easier for number 29 and Mason Little as he'll face Carter off now. There's Ty Boudreau's had his number so far today. Other than that walk back in the second, but he didn't come around to score. As far as he got was third. And then he had a little bit of a dance with Ty Boudreau down the first baseline.
That's right. The tag out, yeah. So Mason Little on the mound with one down here and base runners on first and second, and the dangerous Carter Roth. And he sends this into center field. Noah Connings has got a beat on it, and he's going to make a throw. And just gets it into the cutoff man, Rowan O'Connor. But he gets the out. And Jeremy Freeman moves over to third. And Veneste had to stay at third. A good strong throw by Noah Connings.
Yeah, that's huge for the Gulls to kind of keep Carter off at bay. I mean, that was something that they did really good yesterday, too, as Roth only went 1 for 4 at the plate. He's a guy that's known to really do well with the bat, and Sylvan Lake Gulls have so far kept him pretty quiet.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Mavericks only had 3 hits on the night.
Yeah.
So they've matched that total now.
Yep.
And the Gulls had 6.
Gulls only had 2 hits.
Well, they only had 2 hits?
Or sorry, 6 hits, sorry.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
runs, my apologies, yeah.
Oh,
I was looking at my computer from the side.
And this is right up the middle. And that will cash in the first run of the night for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. As Johnny Volcano singles right up the middle for an RBI. Now you got base runners on first and second with 2 down. The bullpen is full for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, so I think this might be, here's an inning for you, here's an inning for you, you get an inning, you get an inning, everybody gets an inning. Well, maybe not everybody. This is Adam Volcano stepping in with 2 down. And Mason Little quickly up 0-2. Eight runs for the Gulls, 1 for the Mavericks. And they're going to add to that total. Oh, collision out in center field or left center field. Now, I don't know if somebody caught that ball.
That's not good. It was caught.
Brock Tiarina and Noah Connings ran into each other. Tiarina did make the catch. Unbelievable. Rob Manka is on his way out to see what's going on there.
Oh, that's not good.
Noah Connings is on the limp and Tiarina is on his back. And that doesn't look good, you're right. But Noah Connings is walking it off. He sent Rob Manka over to look at Brock Tiarina and say, look, I'll be okay.
Let's take a look at this replay. If you're a little wincy, maybe look away, as this isn't going to be pretty. And they go knee on knee almost, it looks like.
Yeah. And that's Tiarina grabbed his right knee.
That looked like leg on leg for sure.
Yeah. So we're not going to guess as to what possibly went wrong, but you see Noah Connings at the bottom of the screen there. He just walked out of your picture. He is walking it off as Matt Hape is watching him and asking him some few questions. And Rob Manka, meanwhile, is working on, looks like, the right knee.
And yeah, Brock
or
Tiarina
ankle
is
of
in a
Brock
lot of
Tiarina
discomfort right now.
And Noah Connings, I think, might be coming out of the game. So we'll see a change in the lineup here. As far as the position plays. Now we got a gentleman running out to the field, jogging out to where Brock Tiarina is being looked at by Rob Manka, the physiotherapist for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Be a standby
And I'm
paramedic
not sure
maybe.
who this gentleman is.
Doctor potentially.
Possibly. I'm not sure. But he's out there to take a look. And they're bringing Brock Tiarina up to his feet. So, or at least in a sitting position. Now they're going to lift him up.
Well, that'll be probably a night for Brock Tiarina for sure. Connings will see if he can make a return into this ball game, but the crowd will applaud him, and I think they're going to try to get him the cart here. Try to get him the golf cart to
bring the golf cart
get him
out. So they're going to
they're just
sit
gonna
him
sit him
down,
down.
and we'll see what
And
happens
this
here.
must be a doctor of some sort that's taking a look at him right now on that leg. Not sure if it's an ankle or a knee. Anyway, it's not good.
Yeah, we won't know then.
Heck of a catch to
Oh,
hold on by
unbelievable
Brock
catch.
Tiarina. I mean, he held on to that ball, and that would make that 3 outs.
Yeah, that brought the inning to a close. And we are through 5.5. Calvin, do we want to take a little break here, or do we want to stay with this? It's your call. Yeah, I think maybe we'll take a little break, and we'll fill you in with what we can as to what's being done with Brock Tiarina. But we'll take a little break and be back. Well, there's Brock Tiarina walking a little bit better. He took quite a hit there between him and Noah Connings out in left center field. And Tiarina, I can't believe he held on to that ball.
No doubt. And I can't believe he walked out on his own will, too. I mean, I think they're waiting for a cart to get out there. The cart took too long. So then by the time he waited enough, the pain subsided, and he decided just to walk out on his own will. So that's good news. More good news I was watching, and that's a base hit. That's more good news right there. How about that?
Brooks Bachman in for Rowan O'Connor, and he gets a base hit. So not sure what the changes will be in the lineup now, but Brooks Bachman start things off for the Gulls here in the bottom of the 6th with a base hit.
Yeah, and the good news that I was going to mention is that Noah Connings looks like he's going to stay in the game. He's on deck right now. He's got a bat in his hand. He looks like he's going to keep playing. So that's good news for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as well, that his injury wasn't too serious, that he was able to walk out on his own and shake it off. And that's got to still be feeling in some sort of way.
Oh yeah, that's the. I mean,
That was a collision.
They both they weren't both standing up when they hit each other. They were both sliding on the ground trying to make the catch.
And they came together.
And that's when the sudden stop. So either way, it's gonna hurt. Whether you're standing up and run into each other, or you're on the ground and run into each other, or slide into each other. Well, I think maybe, and I'm just guessing, that the sliding into each other might be lesser of two evils there. If you're running full speed into each other without any, I mean, I've seen that in football.
Yeah.
That's the idea of football, running the full speed to the other guy. But baseball, you're not wearing a whole lot of equipment to protect you from that. So Tai Yukamoto steps in. He's 1 for 3 on the night.
New pitcher on the mound, Ryan Harney, by the way. This is
Sorry, I was going to get to that.
first time seeing him.
Just catching everybody up. So a little bit of a delay, but hopefully nobody's worse for wear here. Brock T. Arena and Noah Connings with a collision out in left center field, which brought the top of the 6th to a close. And Brooks Bachman taking over from Rowan O'Connor over at second base. He leads off with a single, and Yukamoto has the count full now with the new pitcher, Ryan Harney.
Well, as we talk about more injuries happening for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, some players coming off injury. I know Clary Simpson getting very close to make a return in a Gulls uniform, just weeks out, as this is popped into right field. Catching that will be Micah Dvorak. So Clary Simpson getting close to return, and I mean, kind of timely, really, because looks like they kind of need him with guys leaving the game.
Yep. A couple of guys leaving the game, and Cleary's anxious to play some baseball.
He sure is, and he's looking good. He said it's feeling good. I talked about, going to get balls and getting a little bit jogging in between innings.
Yeah, he's giving the
saying
leg a workout.
He's saying it's starting to feel good, so that's great news if you're something like Gull fan.
This is squibbed down to first base, and a little bit of everything going on that play as Evan Morrison couldn't get a handle on the ball and was going to throw to second. Couldn't get the handle on it, and then decided, I'll go to first. And then the pitcher, Harney, wasn't on the bag. Had he been on the bag, I think they might have got him.
Yeah.
So
I think that's an error.
I think you're going to have to, that was Noah Connings, by the way, running down. So he.
Nothing like testing the leg out early.
Yeah.
Eh?
I don't know now. They did get an error to somebody, so I'm not sure.
I would think that'd go to the second baseman, if anything, with the bobble.
Yeah.
And then the throw that didn't get there, and I'd say that's an error.
Well, the first baseman, because the second.
Sorry, the first baseman, because he came off his bet. Yeah, sorry, first baseman.
First baseman.
That's who I meant. Yeah.
Well, second baseman never touched the ball.
No.
Because it was Evan Morrison, first man that played it the whole way. Yeah. So, there's only 3 errors now. It was 2, and now it's 3. So, I guess I give Connings a base hit on that. Yeah, because I've got, that's one more hit. So they've got 7 on the board, so they gave him a base hit. And the error advanced Brooks Bachman over to second. So that's, I think, how it was scored. And I'm sticking to that story.
I'm going with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on board. Bottom of the 6th, 8-1 Gulls lead it. 1-2 count on Jaden Flores. And I believe, is that Aiden for Tiarina? Yeah. Aiden Macaris. Or Macaris. Macaris. I know it when it's in my head and I say it wrong. What is wrong with you? As Flores takes that outside, the count now full.
Something like Gall's got a runner in scoring position over at second. That is Brooks Bachman. Leading things off with a base hit. 8-1 Gulls lead over Medicine Hat. One away. Out hitting Medicine Hat 7-4.
Oh, and Jaden Flores thinking he drew a walk, and instead he got rung up by home plate umpire Levi Wagner for the second out.
Yeah, Len, that, again, watching that replay, it looked like it painted the opposite batter's box line a little bit from that angle.
Hayden Macaris steps in now with 2 down. Runners on first and second. Gulls with a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So we've seen some behind the scenes stuff. Guys revealing some of their hidden talents. Aiden Macaris is a guitar player. I don't know what he plays, what kind of music he plays. I'm going to have to ask him. But I found that out. And then Junior Garcia, I saw him in the bullpen on the bullpen camera juggling not 1, not 2, but 3 baseballs. So he's got a skill. He learned that in high school. His baseball team wanted him to learn it. It's the eye-hand coordination. And Macaris sends this over to shortstop, and Johnny Volcano flips it over to the second baseman to get the force out and bring the inning to a close. No runs and 1 hit, 2 hits, I think. And the Gulls with an 8-1 lead through 6.
Well, last inning, things got a little ugly in the 6th. That was what happened in left center field. But the catch was made. That was to end the 6th inning. Brock Tiarina, going in and making a big catch. So he's not going to be able to play the rest of this game, unfortunately for him. He suffered a pretty good injury. So that's Aiden Macaris out in left field substituting. Brock Tiarina. And then you'll also notice another substitution, this time on the mound. That is number 41, Tyler Hurin, coming in from Denver, Colorado, goes to Howard Community College, and Tyler Hurin has 8 games under his, this will be game number 8 under his belt, 15 innings pitched. He's got 15 strikeouts.
That's a good ratio.
And he's got a 3-1 win record.
Yeah, he's pitched well since whenever he comes in, and it's usually in a relief role. He's pitched well.
Absolutely.
He's facing Evan Morrison, Nate King, and Micah Dvorak, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Mavericks. And a swing and a miss. As he did go around, he tried to check, and home plate umpire Levi Wagner said, yep. It was either a called strike or you swung at it, and either way.
I was kind of thinking.
It's 1 and 2.
The way those have been called tonight, might have been a called strike regardless.
And a strikeout there for Tyler Wren. Welcome to the game, Tyler. Nice pitch here by Wren.
Absolutely. That's
that left-hander and dropping that ball down in on a left-hander. That's, as Jimmy Pelche pointed out, he says that's a little scary. Worse more, he said, worse if you're a right-handed batter because he's coming at you. And
okay, and I guess we got a new center fielder too, and that's, yes, number 42, who was playing last night.
That's
Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis, yes. I was trying to remember who's in there. Good eye there, Calvin Bellows.
So Connings did come to bat, and he did run out a throw over to first, but I'm wondering if that run was a little too much for him to handle, and he's still feeling the effects and deciding just to maybe take the rest of the night off.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Wren, who is giving the Mavericks something a little different to look at here.
Yeah, look at that.
Not only from the
movement.
left side, but also the speed-wise.
That ball moves a lot, and from the release to the finish.
Yeah.
That drops probably a good foot and a bit.
Big Colorado Avalanche fan.
Yeah.
Tyler Wren.
Believe that. From Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a Broncos fan too, I would think.
I don't know. I didn't ask him about the football team, and that's over to third base, and Jaden Flores makes the throw across the diamond, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Tyler Wren.
Welcome back to Gulls Baseball. You're watching FloCollege on, brought to you by VisitSylvanLake.ca. Jim Cleggett, Cale Clark, produced by Green Onion Media. 4 other games on tap today, one being a doubleheader. Earlier on, the Regina Red Sox blew the Swift Current 57s out of the water, 9-0. In that second half of that doubleheader, Regina Red Sox up 1-0. Over the 57s. It's still on top of the first inning. Saskatoon Berries hosting the Moose Jaw Miller Express. The Miller Express up 6-5 over the Berries, looking to cut their winning streak 3-0 after the Saskatoon Berries have strung along 8 wins together now. So Moose Jaw looking to upset that winning streak. And then it's a little bit of a blowout in Brooks as well. Okotoks Dogs up 8-2 over the Bombers in the bottom half of the 6th inning. First pitch swinging from Simon Baker goes to Roth, and he'll make the throw over to number 2 filling in at first base, Adam Volcano. Now shifted over to first base, so that means Evan Morrison is maybe no longer in this ball game.
So Adam Volcano was in left field, so there's a new left fielder then, I guess.
Yep.
Is that yeah. Didn't see who went out there, but I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Looks like number
and
1.
we just found out.
Yeah.
Calvin Bellows all over it.
You say Usawa out in left field, if I'm saying that right.
Trip Ray at the plate. An 8-1 Gulls lead here. With Matt Brandt on deck. And the rain has held off.
Yeah. It's kind of just enough to, I don't know. It's still, we're in a broadcast booth, but I would say it's probably dipped under 20 now.
Oh, you think so?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
That wind does feel a little cool. I'd say it's probably 17, 18 degrees right now, Celsius. But that's just me going off of feels. I have no idea. Okay, well, according to Weather Network, which is always right? 22-23 according to our Calvin Bellows. I had to be smart there, didn't I?
Yes.
I'm still bitter from that one day I got sunburned. It lied to me. Trip Ray pops this straight up to second base. Literally, it'll drop almost right on the bag itself. That's caught by second baseman Carter Roth.
Yeah, 3 things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and weather forecasts. Okay, maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 of those 3.
I always give the gears to the weather people. I used to work with some really good weather people, though.
Yeah. You're
And
telling me about one guy that was
Bill Matheson.
old-fashioned.
Bill Matheson worked for ITV up in Edmonton, which is now Global. And that's grounded down to shortstop, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Mavericks. We are through 7. 8-1 Gulls lead with the Mavs coming to bat.
Welcome back to Gulls Baseball. Cale Clark with Jim Claggett up here in the Gulls Nest broadcast booth, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. Glad to have you tuning in to baseball action, Western Canadian Baseball League on FloCollege. This has popped up down the first baseline. Jaden Flores calling everybody off, and he makes the catch look absolutely effortless.
He's pretty smooth out there, Jaden Flores is. J-Flo.
Smooth like butter. And he's playing second now, just so you know, folks. Rowan O'Connor came out of the game. Flores moves over to second base. Over at third is Brooks Bachman. And then, as we mentioned earlier, Aiden Macaris.
You were going to say
I almost
Macaris,
did
yeah?
it.
I'm catchy.
Over at left
I'm
field.
contagious.
You are kind of contagious. Bad, Jim. Bad.
Well, I am who I am.
Aaron Volcano, the DH, at the plate right now, 1-1. That's inside for a second ball. He's 0 for 3 on the day. 2 strikeouts, and then a throw from the catcher to first base. And here's a ground out to the newcomer, and Tai Yukamoto makes the throw in time for the second out.
Tai Yukamoto's got a strong arm.
Yeah, and he's pretty consistent.
He's got a solid glove. You can see that. And he just fires that across the diamond. A little low, but a good scoop there by Matt Brandt.
He likes the long ones. I guess it's the short ones that maybe aren't his friend right now. After we,
Well, I think he
that could have been
aimed that.
early. And you know what? It was early in the game.
Yeah.
It just takes, sometimes it just takes a little getting into the game, getting a little action before you can kind of get yourself settled in. And I'm not trying to pick on him, but
No.
that'll happen.
It'll happen. And Tyler Vanesti sends this out to center field. Who's in center field? That's Kyle Lewis. I was just testing you. Anyway, he makes the grab out in dead center field, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning back-to-back for Tyler Rinn. And here we go. We are going to the bottom of the 8th. Gulls with an 8-1 lead.
Well, July 2nd, the Sylvan Lake Gulls lead at 8-1 over the Medicine Hat Mavericks, but that means there's some games coming down the stretch for them. One last home game to finish out this 9-game home stretch, and that is on Independence Day against the Energy City Cactus Rats, the Stars and Stripes Fair, brought to you by MGM Ford Lincoln, where I got my car an oil change there today, actually, believe it or not, and it's going to be a good one, the Stars and Stripes game, and then the Gulls will head on the road for a pair of games up in Fort McMurray this weekend. So that long home stretch, weird to think that it's already almost over, Jim. It kind of flew by, but it was a busy stretch, busy 11 nights.
It was. But we made it.
Yeah, we did.
We survived. Nobody got hurt. 1-1 the count on Matty Fung. Ryan Harney is still in the game for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And there's nobody doing anything in the bullpen. One guy's sitting there all by himself. And Gale's waving his American flag.
Well, I still got it from last year's Independence game. See?
Good for you.
Yeah. Still here. Just kept it right in the broadcast booth.
Awesome.
Figured it'd come handy again.
You never know when you're going to need an American flag.
Well, it kind of comes handy again.
I guess. And Jeremy Freeman jogs over, gets his glove on the ball, and retires Matty Fung for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Brooks Bachman for his second at bat. He had a base hit back in the 6th. He's filling in for, well, I guess kind of technically for, well, Rowan O'Connor.
Yeah.
But then O'Connor got pulling out.
Rowan O'Connor.
Yeah.
And then
And then Flores moved over, and there's a lot of movement here, but I think we've got it kind of covered.
Sort of. We'll get there.
Yeah. About as covered as we can. And Bachman is 2 for 2 on the night as he scoots this out into left field for base hit number 2.
Yeah, that's got to feel good for Bachman. He's had a little bit of a tough at-bat lately, and you know what? Tonight he comes in and halfway through the game, and just like that, 2 straight at-bat appearances, 2 straight hits, and that's what a kid like him needs right now, just a little bit of confidence, and he's going to be just riding high, I think, off of that moving forward. And Rowan O'Connor is actually the first base coach.
I was just going to say,
just kind of give him a little congratulations.
That's not Cam Diaz
He's
over
like,
there.
see, there you go.
And that's ripped by Tai Yukamoto into the gap, and that's going to cash in a run, possibly.
He's going.
Brooks Bachman is headed for home, and he'll stand up and cross the plate. And a stand-up double for Yukamoto and his second RBI of the night.
That was a well-hit ball to right center field. I mean, just kept traveling. And then it dropped and it went all the way to the wall. And yeah, Brooks Bachman lost his helmet at second. He's running like the wind, that kid.
These guys can run.
Oh yeah,
my God.
They got wheels.
I love watching Rowan O'Connor round the bases. He's got that
long
gazelle stretch of his
stretch,
legs.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if that's what he said to Bachman. Okay, if he hits this well, you got to run like me.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's a tip.
Yeah.
Stretch it out. 0-1 to count on Kyle Lewis, who's playing center field for Noah Connings. And
That sounded like it might have broke.
yeah, it was right off the fist there for Kyle Lewis. And an easy play for the shortstop, Johnny Volcano. There we go. Second out. Yukamoto moves over to third. That'll bring Jaden Flores up. That ball missing down low. One run across here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gulls adding to their lead. 9-1 they lead the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And he wanted to pull the trigger on that one and held back. And that misses for a ball too.
Jaden Flores already with a couple RBIs on the night. He's got a guy only 90 feet away for his third. 2-0 the count, as you mentioned. 9-1, Gulls lead it now. Beautiful night for baseball it has turned into here. We weren't sure what the start of the night was looking like. I mean, we saw that crazy dark cloud surrounding Gulls Field, but it rained a little bit, and then it broke off, and
yeah,
Mother Nature's being nice to us tonight, I guess.
She is.
But man, Red Deer was
Oh, it was dark.
and it didn't rain much.
Well, good play there by Johnny Volcano as he climbs the ladder and pulls that one down out of the air. The line drive to the shortstop brings the inning to a close, but we are through 8 complete. Gulls with a 9-1 lead. Medicine Hat will come to bat. And this will be the fourth pitcher of the night. The young man from Calgary, Alberta, goes by the name of Kai Rempel. And he'll close things out here.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Oh,
Just
boy.
kidding.
He's part of the broadcast team.
Yeah, he's a broadcaster now.
So Kai Rempel steps in here to take over from Tyler Rinn, who took over from Mason Little, who took over from Tyler Boudreau. So 2 Tylers, a Mason, and a Kai. I don't know what that adds up to, but right now it adds up to a 9-1 Gulls lead.
Yeah, that's exactly what it adds up to. I mean, the pitching has been solid for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, keeping Medicine Hat at bay up to this point. And that's exactly what they needed here tonight. And I think at the end of the day, you got to be happy with how you've been pitching both nights. I mean, not just tonight, but last night pitching was good too. You know, you shut the door after the top first 2 innings. There's no more runs to be scored after that. So
I agree.
the last one stung Trip Ray though on that pitch. I don't know where it hit him. Again, it might have been on the edge of the hand or arm somewhere.
Get it right in the palm sometimes in those catcher gloves.
Yeah, he shook his hand pretty good there.
It just hits the right spot and you go, ow, how did that find that spot? And Brooks Bachman finds that ball or that's Jaden Flores, and makes the first out with a little flare out to right field. Johnny Volcano, who made the outstanding play. What about?
I'm just looking at the 50-50 ticket number right now. That is a lot of ones. B11114. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Can you imagine if it's all ones?
And that bounced off the mask of Trip Ray. He's having a tough inning here in the bottom of or top of the 9th. Let's see where this got him.
He's kind of getting beat up on this inning,
right off the forehead.
Nothing like going home with a little bit of battle scars, eh?
Jeez, how did these guys play this game without a mask? Same with hockey, like goalies. I can't believe that.
Silly. That was mix in cold ice temperature minus
hard rubber puck,
and then a hard rubber frozen puck.
Yeah.
To your face in cold weather.
Probably wasn't so bad when they were using frozen cow poop or horse poop.
Just tasted terrible.
Yeah. you kept your mouth closed.
You could actually taste it, yeah. Ew.
2-1 the count. We're digressing.
Clearly.
Or regressing. 3-1, Kai Rempel on the mound for the Gulls to close the door on the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And a nice pitch there. He rears back and fires 92 right on the black. And we got a pinch hitter on deck here for the Mavericks. And that's grounded down to Jaden Flores over to second. And the Gulls are 1 out away from earning a split with the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
So incoming as a pinch hitter, as you mentioned, Jim, is number 5, Blake Dale, infielder from Riverton, Wyoming. Goes to Kansas Wesleyan University.
Okay. Welcome to the game.
They're going to need the rally from him as he drives this right out the middle. Flores on the run with the throw.
And the fact that he got that ball off.
Yeah, with that much speed.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
We know Jaden Flores has got a strong arm, but this just took him too far to his right. And he had to come right across his body, and he pulled Matt Brandt right off the bag. But good hustle down first baseline by Blake Dale.
This is going to be another substitution. This is the guy that went out into left field for Medicine Hat, number 1, Yusei Usawa.
Okay. He's greeted with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. The Mavs down to their last out here in the top of the 9th. And now they're down to their last strike.
Another 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Rempel not holding back.
Ah, he's feeling it.
Yeah, here comes the slow clap.
And might be the off-speed pitch here. The 2 fastballs.
Got him.
And he got him. Paints the corner to bring the game to a close. Kai Rempel with a strikeout. That puts the exclamation point on a 9-1 Sylvan Lake Gulls victory over the Medicine Hat Mavericks. And I think that's Ty Boudreau out there, but maybe not.
Guess we're gonna have to find out. We might not know who the player of the game is until we. Yeah, I think that is Ty Boudreau right
in
there
the
on
shorts?
the screen there, the pants.
Oh, now there he is.
Hat.
Yep.
Okay, he's
there he
out
is.
on the field, so that's good news. But yeah, no, good game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and just a commanding win here against the Medicine Hat Mavericks, who had their number last night, but it wasn't even close tonight. Sylvan Lake, they got off to some great defense, got off with the bats, and then they never turned or looked back. And they can thank a guy in particular for getting them start that they needed. And he's the player of the game as Jared Waldo fishes him out of the line. He's got some food in his belly. He's a happy camper. He's going to make his way. We'll head down to field level with Jared Waldo.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Your player of the game for EG Auctions, tonight's starting pitcher and your very own from Sylvan Lake, Ty Boudreau. Ty, congrats on the big bounce back win tonight. Talk about the performance of not only yourself but your team here tonight.
Yeah, it's great to get back in the winning column here. Just being able to attack and trust the defense every night is what we want as a pitching staff, and we have it here. We got a great defense behind us, and we're ready to keep it going.
Now, you've been part of this organization for a few years, and we've seen you come back at varying times. What is it about this club, this organization, and these fans that keeps bringing you back year after year?
I mean, just the support from the people around here and the fans every single night. Look at this place. I mean, you can't beat it. Yeah, we give a big thanks to the fans for showing up every night and being here and, cheering us on. That's big for us. But we want to say thank you, and that's what I got.
Well, I am going to ask you a little bit about yourself because obviously big news, University of Alabama. You've also got some other things coming up. Why don't you tell some of these fans what's next for Ty Boudreau?
Yeah, we're keeping our fingers crossed. We have opportunities to move on to the MLB draft this year. So hopefully that happens, and just keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, regardless of what happens next, we appreciate everything you've brought to this community and this organization and to these fans over the past several years. Thank you very much, Ty. Appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
Ty Boudreau, ladies and gentlemen, your EG Auctions player of the game.
There you have it, Ty Boudreau, the player of the game, brought to you by EG Auctions. And I think if you're Medicine Hat, you're looking at that guy on the mound to start the game, you're like, oh, come on, this isn't even fair. We're having this guy to go against on the mound. And yeah, he's not an easy task, that's for sure. And he shut the door quite well on this Medicine Hat Mavericks team. 5 innings pitched, 5 Ks, only giving up 1 hit, 0 runs. Impressive stuff, as always, from Mr. Boudreau himself.
And I like how he summed it all up by saying, the defense playing so well allows the pitchers to attack the batters.
Yeah.
And that's what they like doing. They don't like playing defensively as a pitcher. So there you go. Ty Boudreau showing us exactly why the defense is so important for the pitcher.
Well, the ball attacked him first. He had to make that catch on the mound, and he had to make his own play right off the get-go. But, it was a great start. Exactly what the Sylvan Lake Gulls wanted. It wasn't a start that we were sure was going to happen with the rain clouds in the sky, but this game did happen. Some great work by Medicine Hat early on, turning the double play. Noah Connings, an opposite field homer that scored 2 runs to really get the ball rolling for this Sylvan Lake Gulls team. Cameron Diaz, he was happy about this performance. He was having lots of fun, and a little bit of errors that we've yet to see from Medicine Hat this year that I think really helped the Sylvan Lake Gulls with the win. Scary sights in left field. Luckily, Brock Tiarena walked on his own power. So did Noah Connings. They should be okay. Brooks Bachman got into this game. He had himself a night going 2 for 2 with the bat, and it was just overall a great night for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. For Jim Claggett, I'm Cale Clark, Green Onion Media, and the whole broadcast crew at FloCollege. We want to thank you for watching this one. We had another bird's eye view. Have a good night.